Hey everyone, it's April and welcome back to my channel. I'm here with Benny, Barron, and Brody, and we are super excited to share my summer home tour for 2022, which is a bee theme. And if you're familiar with my channel, you've seen probably in the last month or so that I've been hauling a lot of bee decor. I had a bee theme last year and I absolutely loved it, so I wanted to continue with that theme this year and just add on to my collection. I had a really great time coming up with new ways of decorating and styling all of this stuff, so I'm really hoping that you're as excited as I am to see the tour. If you're new, definitely consider subscribing. I would love to have you be a part of my YouTube family. And without further ado, let's get on into the video. Starting on over here on the couch area as Benny is modeling, I have two blankets that have bees on them. One is a smaller throw, and the one that Benny's on is actually for a queen size bed. I got both of those, I believe, at Marshall's or TJ Maxx, but I like a bigger blanket to cuddle with on the couch. These pillows, the black and yellow ones, are actually covers from Walmart. This pillow cover I got from Amazon, and then the yellow plaid ones, they are from Kirkland's. Moving on up to this corner, I just have a wreath on my barn door and I stuck a wooden bee in the center. And then on this shelf, just a couple different bee items. The top one is a beehive that I picked up at a yard sale last weekend. It actually is to hide a key for your front porch, but I'm just using it as decor. That little sign I believe was Hobby Lobby. This sign I actually made last year. I needle felted the bee and then just attached it to some fabric I got from Hobby Lobby. And then up here on my ladder, you know I like to decorate this seasonally, so I left all of my yellow flowers and lights and things up from the spring, and I just added these wooden bees that I got at a local store. Kind of stumbled across it in the mall, and they had some really cute wooden homemade decor, so I got two of those. Then down here on my wooden frame, or I guess window pane you would call it, I have another wooden bee, and that beehive sign I got at the antique mall last year. And then down here on the table, this bee, I got it at the antique mall last year as well. I think he's super cute. I love his little outfit with the suspenders. And then I just stuck a bee hand towel kind of sticking out of the drawer. I like to decorate with these, like even in my living rooms and stuff, because I don't like to get them dirty and actually use them for dishes. On my heater over here, this Our Hive sign I DIY'd last year. I just added some metal bees to my candles, and I left up this metal flower that is from the springtime. Over here, the bee welcome sign I got this year at a local shop. On my two farmhouse shelves, I just left a lot of everyday decor, but then I mixed in some bee things like this bee flower pot that I thrifted. And then down on the second shelf, I just have a few things by Primitives by Kathy, including this bucket and also the sign that is next to it. Just put some yellow flowers in there. And then this bee here, I needle felted him. And then the rest, I believe, is all from Hobby Lobby. And then over here on my awning, my mom actually found this for me. I believe it was at a local shop and it was only $10. And I know the lighting is making it really hard to see, but it is black and yellow striped. And it's like a little lantern that you could stick a candle in. So I just hung that up there. Didn't put a candle in it yet though. On my shutters, I have this sign. I ended up putting sweet as can be on there. I know I was asking you guys for suggestions because I feel like so many signs all say the same thing with bee decor. In those flower pots, I just stuck a little bee on a wire just to give it a little extra something. And then down here, I decided to keep my new bear out, and I just put the Be Thankful sign in his hands like he's holding it. And then the bee pillow is from Hobby Lobby. I just added some of my own tassels to the corners. On my coffee table, I again left my greenery around it from the spring. Instead of my eggs, I swapped them out and put some bee picks. These were, I believe, Hobby Lobby, but I kind of gave them a little makeover and painted them myself because they kind of were sloppy looking, but I love how that turned out, just super simple. And that's one more look at that side of the room. Moving on over to this corner. This is like my front door when you're just walking in. I have my old kind of barnwood hutch that I keep here by the front door. On the bottom, this kind of metal, I don't even know what you would call it. It's kind of like a basket, but I got that at Ross last year. I actually have 2 of them. And I just stuck a bee towel inside. And then on this shelf, I have a Boyd's bear and a needle felted bee mouse. And then to my wooden bears, I just added some little bees on wires to their hands. And then this, I was really happy with how it turned out. I got this swag from a local shop, and I just added some little Primitives by Kathy bees. I got these off of Amazon. And a little pricey for how small they were, but I thought they were the perfect thing to add to this swag to just, give it more of that bee theme. This bear here I've had for a couple seasons now. I've been changing him out, so I gave him a little bee makeover. And then I have quite the collection of bee Boyd's bears. I'll show you them a little more in depth as I go. But then bee magnets are also Primitives by Kathy. And all of these Boyd's Bear bees I've actually gotten either at thrift stores or yard sales. And all 4 of those are Boyd's. And then my newest one up here I got at a yard sale last weekend. He was only $2. And I couldn't remember if I had him, and luckily I didn't. Now moving on over here, these are 2 different metal pieces. The one on the end is from Michael's, and I just added some greenery and some bees. And the one in the middle is from a local shop. And the Welcome to Our Hive sign is also from an antique mall. This metal bucket hanging on the door is from a thrift store. I painted it and gave it a makeover, and then I added some of these bees on the wires mixed with some greenery. 3 more actually of those Primitive by Kathy bees. I got them from Amazon. And then moving over here, I added 2 metal bees to this wreath. I got them off of a lantern from a yard sale last year. And then I just added some little stuffed things. This bee I got from a local shop. The bee skept I actually made last year. I cut it from like a piece of material and I just stuffed it. And then this table down here, it just fits perfectly in this corner. One of my faves that I love to decorate. This bee here, I got him at a local shop, I believe. A lot of my primitive stuffed things all are from local shops and antique malls. Unfortunately, just can't find those kind of things in the department stores. This sign I made, I just bought an old picture frame at a thrift store and drew that little bee picture. The home sign, think, maybe Home Goods. And then this beehive here actually lights up. I think it's really cute. Not only is it primitive, but it has its own little battery pack and lights up. Got that at the antique mall last year as well. And then moving on over to kind of like my little fireplace corner. Give you a quick little view of what it looks like all together. Now moving on up to the top of the mantle, I just have some luminara candles, some green garland, and some bee string lights. I'm not sure if these ones are from Big Lots or Walmart. I have two different sets and I can't remember which is, each one of them is from. But then I just added some wooden bees and some little bee skeps on here. They're both from different stores, but they're very similar. They're both the same thickness, so I thought they looked good together. That bee skep, I think I got that at a local shop last year. Then these more realistic bees that I have on each the corners, they're from Hobby Lobby, as well as that Be Happy sign. And then that sign there, I DIY'd last year. And then down on the bottom, I just have another handmade wooden bee on a stick. And he has some screens being used for his wings. I think that's really cool when they do that. And then over here on this table, before the table, I'll show you up here. This is like an old shutter, and then I just hung this sign on the hook. That is actually from Walmart this year. And then this, I don't even know, wooden shelf, I guess you would call it, but it even has like a little roof, so it's kind of like a house. But these 3 stuffed bees on here, I made them last year. I just tried my hand at stuffing and creating my own little characters. And everything else on here is either from Walmart, Hobby Lobby, or I made it. Then I stuck another hand towel. I believe this one's a Primitives by Kathy. Just stuck it in the handle there. This kind of bird feeder / birdhouse is from Michael's. And then I just stuck some greenery in a bee crock that is from Home Goods. And that pretty much sums up this side. I'll give you one last look around. Up above the archway separating my living room from my dining room, I have this long peg shelf, and I just changed this up seasonally. My basket with the greenery I left up. I added a yellow wreath and another wooden bee. Got that from a local shop as well. On each side of the arch, I always have these bucket lights. I left them the same as springtime. I just kept the little white daisies in there. Kind of just thought they would go for both seasons, so left them be. And then on this little nook here, I just have a metal kind of hanging basket, and I just have a primitive bee in there mixed with some greenery. And then this shelf, which was from Hobby Lobby, I just have a picture with some greenery, a bee skep, and 2 more bee bears. One I believe is Boyd's, and the other one is the TY brand. And then down here, I just have another hand towel hanging on a shutter, metal bee from the Dollar Tree, and just some flowers in a crock. Kind of left my pillows the same for spring on the chair. Just left them the same way for summer. And then this little corner table here is probably my favorite. I got these bee lights at HomeGoods this year, and I just love the size of them. They look like big honeybees, so detailed, and I just wasn't sure where I was going to put them, but I thought they looked really nice, just kind of draped here on the ladder. Definitely gives a little bit more interest to this side of the room. That yellow blanket I just got this year at HomeGoods. And then the star of the show is definitely these primitive bees. They are my favorite thing that I got this year. When I saw them, I absolutely fell in love. They were at a local antique mall and pretty pricey. I was just going to buy one, but I just couldn't separate the set. I just thought they were too cute together. That hive bee kind rules, whatever it says on there, that sign is from Michael's. That needle felted bee I made last year and connected him on a wire. And here's the other primitive bee. He's definitely small, chubbier, and he's in like a sitting position. And it says honey for sale on his stomach. And like I said, I just thought both of these were so cute for different reasons. I didn't want to split up the set. And then down here, that bee pillow I made last year, I just hot glued some material together from Hobby Lobby and put a pillow insert inside. Super simple. And then over here, sorry if the light's glaring a bit. It's really, really bright and sunny out today, which I'm not complaining. Down here, this bee is, I believe, from Hobby Lobby. It was like a metal outdoor piece, but I kept it in. A flower pot with a fern, another primitive bee skep. And then in my flower cart, I just stuck some of these clothespins that have bees on them. These are also from Hobby Lobby. They're in the party section if you are interested in those. This bee kind of bead set, that I think was Hobby Lobby as well. This bee I got last year at the antique mall in one of the vendors. These two bees on here are from Dollar General. They were like red and green, and I painted them to look like bees last year. This little sign is from Hobby Lobby. And then over in this corner of my dining room, this is like where my big antique hutch is, and my table and a couple other shelves. So my light fixture I get questions about sometimes, that is from Kirkland's. And starting out with this old door, again, I apologize for that light glare. These two wooden bees I got this year at a primitive shop. Same with this bee. I got him last year at the antique mall. I love how he has such a sad face. So cute. The honeybee inn sign is from Hobby Lobby. And then I just stuck another primitive bee pick inside some greenery that I had on the bottom. And then moving on over to the hutch. Up on the top there, that Be Our Guest sign, that was from Walmart. So impressed with their stuff this year. I have a crocheted bee that I bought from a local vendor. And then the two bee skeps up there, I actually DIY'd those last year using a flower pot and yarn. If you go back in my videos, you can see how I made it. I have another set of bee string lights going across the hutch. And the honey sign here, that is from Walmart as well this year. These guys I just picked up over the weekend. Really, really cute, handmade, again, using like a screen mesh for the wings. One was fat and one was skinny, and I just thought they were too funny, so I picked the both of those up. With this bear, I just added some flowers with like a bee skep. And same up here, just some more primitive bee items. Another stuffed one and a wooden one. Then over in the center, I have another one of those bee metal baskets from Ross. Got those last year. This is actually a towel. I picked that up this year from a local primitive shop, but I'm kind of just using it as like a table runner. In the center of my table, I didn't go too crazy. I just stuck a lantern with a luminar candle in the center of my dough bowl, put a green wreath around it, and 2 primitive bees. I have a candle from Home Goods with bees on it, and then some bee coasters for when I have company over and we have a few drinks. And then lastly, in this corner, I have my Hutch that fits in here perfectly and my wine rack. On my wine rack, I usually have a tiered tray on here. So again, did the same thing as usual. Just put on all kinds of little odds and ends and bee trinkets that I have. Some handmade signs, a little honey pot I made last year. Another needle felted bee skep up there. I made that last year along with some of these cute little pictures. The honey sign that the bear's holding, that is from The Mossy Knoll. It is a shop on Etsy that makes beautiful signs. I've talked about them many of times. Definitely check out her shop. That metal bee, I got it off of something from a thrift store, so I just added it into my lantern. This metal bee I hauled this year. I love that like old cement look that it has. And then my little hutch, I just did a whole bee theme on here. Starting out on the bottom, I made this primitive stuffed bee last year myself. Not crazy with how he turned out, but still a bee, still cute, so I hung it on the knob. And then I have another crocheted bee. That sign in the back I made last year. There were like bees on something with cardboard that I bought last year, and I cut them all out and glued them to the sign. That little bee is actually a bell. Then I have a collection of honey pots. They're all either from yard sales or Home Goods. Another needle felted bee that I made. I believe that sign's Primitives by Kathy. Up here, this tin kind of canister is from Dollar General last year. Hobby Lobby for the lantern. This little pillow was handmade at a local shop. The bee sign, Walmart. And then I also made this bead garland last year. And then I painted some little bees on the yellow beads. And then the sweet honey sign, again, is from Hobby Lobby. So kind of noticing a theme. A lot of Hobby Lobby, a lot of Walmart, a lot of primitive shops. I'll give you one last look over of the room and then also again into the living room. And that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this tour. I really definitely went all out with the bee decor this year, but I'm absolutely in love with it. The dogs are all tired out. They're ready to take the nap for a while. They have the life for sure. But anyway, again, if you were new, definitely consider subscribing. If you love the tour, you love bee decor, give this video a thumbs up. Follow me over on Instagram at Housetohome_XOXO. And until the next one, I will see you guys then. Hope you have a beautiful week and summer.